few months ago, we showed you how to build this raised bed garden. And then after we toured the herb farm, we planted a few herbs in the end here. Well, we've got plenty of space left, and today I'm sowing seed for a winter vegetable garden. And it will be under a protective plastic cover. I have 5 different vegetables here that should do quite well. The first on this end, in just about a 3x3 area, is a small planting of carrots. This particular variety is Imperator or Imperator, and it takes 75 days to mature. Of course, by then we'll be having some freezing weather, and although the row cover will not keep the plants from freezing, carrots are very, very tolerant of that type of weather, and they should do just fine, especially since during the day we have so much sunny weather in the winter time. Under this plastic it should warm up, they should grow quite well. The next thing I've sown is Tokyo Cross turnips. Of course, turnips are extremely cold tolerant, and again, under the plastic should give them nice warm conditions during the day, and they should mature very quickly. Be out of here in plenty of time to give extra room for the carrots and for the 2 seasons Chinese cabbage that I've just sown right here. And of course, the Chinese cabbage is very, very cold tolerant also. Now, if you're going to plant a garden under a row cover, or cloche as some people call this, there are several different materials you can use. The one that we're using is Insular. It's a slitted clear plastic row cover, and the slits help release any extra heat during the day so it doesn't get too hot. Because all of these are cool season crops, we don't want it to get too warm under there, yet it will hold in enough heat during the day so they can grow quite well. Some other materials that you can use are spun polyester. Some of the products, one is called Remay that works quite well. You can also use white plastic as a covering. However, in the winter time, the intensity of our sun is quite a bit less than during the summertime, and our days are shorter. So I want as much light in here as possible, and that's why I'm using clear plastic. The next thing we want to plant is some prize head lettuce. And lettuce, of course, is extremely cold tolerant. So we'll just sow a little bit of that in there. Remember on lettuce that you don't want to bury it deeply in the soil. It needs a little bit of light to germinate. And so this, I'll just barely cover with a little bit of soil. Now with a row cover, you've got to remember that even though this has slits in it, it lets some rain fall in, but probably not enough, especially when they're first seedlings. And also, since it's a raised bed, it might dry out more quickly. So you want to make sure that you get plenty of water on there during the growing season, and set up your row cover so that you can easily take it off and maintain the garden. The last thing I'm going to plant are some sugar brawn peas. I've already inoculated the seed. That's why they have this black appearance, and we've talked about that before on the show, the importance of inoculating the seed so you'll get good nitrogen fixation. And this variety, sugar brawn, is a very short pea. It only gets to a maximum of 24 inches high, doesn't need any support, and best of all, it matures in just 56 days. So, the middle of this winter, I should be able to harvest some peas early in the season. I'll just get these covered over and watered in. One other thing about row covers you've got to be careful about is that because you're providing a nice, warm, sunny environment that's very moist, you may have some insect problems under here, particularly on peas, because they can get aphids feeding on them and transmitting viruses that spread disease. You're going to want to check for that from time to time and make sure that they don't get too well established. Insecticidal soap will work on them quite well, though, if you're wanting to use a pesticide in an enclosed area such as a row cover. The last thing I need to do is get this watered in And then in a few minutes, Jim's going to help me cover it over. You can see what the finished product looks like.